I had this conversation just an hour or so ago with one of my friends who was visiting, and yeah, he's listening to all of these programs, which is pretty unique for someone who lives on this tiny island with me. And we were talking about he was bringing up how much more powerful the spoken word is than the written word. That he for years has tried to read the books and got into them, and it was just difficult. But he says, I can listen to every word that you speak because of the inflection, the power of the spoken word, and things that you can communicate through the spoken word that you cannot communicate at all through the written word. And I tried to back down a little bit, and I said, the written word is a much more effective means of educating because it is enduring. If you want to convey an enduring message, you need to put it in writing, which is what Yahowah did. And he says, but today with your Facebook presentations, your YouTube and X and the like, where you're live streaming, Rumble, Odyssey now, you are in a position where the spoken word is enduring. So now the spoken word is actually more powerful. It does everything the written word can do and much more. People can look at your expression. They can hear the tone of your voice. They know that you are speaking the truth to them. They know that they can trust you. Much more powerful. And what I realized when he was speaking that, and I shared with him, I said, the difference really is that the written word is all up here. You process it all mentally. There's no emotional tug. It's all cerebral. Spoken words, passion. It grabs us in the heart. And so it's a far more feminine appeal. And today, I would say that the vast majority of people have a difficult time devoting the attention span required to read. But they love the spoken word, particularly when it's delivered with some sense of enthusiasm and passion, conviction. And so this is a message of God for our time, being delivered by God's chosen Malaka. As we have gone from the Malaka of these books to the Malaka of these words. Let me share one other thing with you. The one thing that makes me different than everyone and anyone who has ever lived. One thing. You read it in the 11th chapter of Yashaya. As the choder, I have the benefits of Yahweh's 7 spirits, his 7 ruach. The ruach is a feminine noun. And see, one soul, empowered, impassioned, emboldened, enlightened, with 7 ruach, makes that soul, which, by the way, is feminine in Hebrew, empowered by the ruach, feminine in Hebrew, a feminine manifestation of Malak. And it becomes prophetic because we had a breakaway group that, we had a psychopath at the center of it who maneuvered herself in a position where she could glom onto and mislead, abuse, beguile people who I thought were essential to this mission, who now are gone and aren't even missed. But she did that, claiming and them publicly announcing that they were refuting what I was saying, because what I was saying was deadly, because I wasn't giving enough credence to Spirit Mom. There is no spirit, Mom. Yahweh is one. Yahweh is our Father. There's no second person with whom responsibilities are delegated, who has a unique voice, who ought to be venerated uniquely. And yet, no one in human history had ever distinguished the feminine attributes associated with Ruach, spirit, to the extent that I had, and explained how these feminine attributes of Ruach were part of the nature of Yahweh. I know the Spirit well, and I've shared those insights with you. And so now, this has a double purpose. It's telling this recklessly embittered and rebellious group that you ought to back down. Don't ever try to perform or accomplish any of the work of the Malaka. Yahweh chooses through whom he is going to speak, and there is a lot at stake. His people's souls are at stake. Yisrael is at stake. His son's reputation is at stake. He is warning all who would challenge this to stand down. Do not endeavor to do the work that Yahweh has chosen to do through his chosen implement, his Malaka, through his Ruach. And it also tells you that there is work being performed here, identifying that center candle once again and Shabuah with this particular mission, which is why it is essential. Because this is the last time that Yahweh is reintroducing his name to his people, reacquainting his people with his beloved son, Dod, and presenting them with a proper understanding of the Bereth covenant, the Mikre invitations to meet, and the timeline so that they are prepared. I am therefore heaven's messenger, your spiritual counselor.